I'm gonna have to go. Yay! It worked! Okay. Okay. Lord. Your memory 35. Okay. La 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 la. The break has ended today, so I can finally see Leoji and Ikuya again. As I walk to my classroom, I notice a huge crowd blocking the doorway. What's going on? They're acting like we have a celebrity guest. Or is it the two twins? I think it is. I feel someone poke my shoulder and turn to find myself face to face with Ikuya. Well, how long have you been standing there? Only a few seconds. I hope you had a nice holiday. Yeah, sort of. My time with JUNORU flashes through my mind. I did have fun while I was with them. How was your trip with Leoji? Did you two have lots of fun without me? Surprise, surprise, they're dating now. I threw my arms around her shoulder and teased her with a mischievous smile. She crosses her arms and blushes slightly, shaking her head heavily. Don't make me sound weird, dum-dum. I chuckled at Ikuya's honest reaction. Even though I thought she had a crush on Leoji, she never told him how she feels. On the other hand, I do not know how he feels, but I suspect it's not mutual. Anyway, how do you know what's going on in there? Or, I don't know. Yeah, we're getting 2 new transfer students today. The twins. What, in the middle of the year? Weird, right? We don't get new students very often, so everyone's excited about it. Come with me. Let's take a peek at the new people together. If we go outside, we can peep through the windows. Ikuya grabs my hand, pulling me through the hallway and out the main doors. Hey, you two trying to stalk the new transfer students. I flip around at Leoji's voice to be greeted by him by raising a brow. Glad to see you again, Leoji. Do you know what time it is? Everybody is supposed to be heading to their classes. Like you're the one to talk. I just want a quick peek. Unlike you, I won't get distracted on the way. If you don't go back now, you will be late. Okay, Mr. Class President. I mean, you do realize the transfer students are part of our classes, right? You can stare at them all you want once you're seated. You are such idiots. Ikuya pouts at him before turning away and walking ahead. Once Ikuya and I are sitting in the classroom, I immediately spot the new student. I cannot help but feel embarrassed that I went to so much trouble to get a look at him. The boys stand out quite a bit with the bandages around their mouth and arms. They look alike. Are they twins? As I walk past the new students, their eyes follow me, and a shiver runs down my spine. They are staring at me almost hungrily, as if I'm nothing but afraid of them. Once everyone is seated, the teachers ask the boys to introduce themselves in front of the classroom. my older brother. We're fraternal twins. I forgot what I gave him. But he's trying to talk like this. Our parents recently passed away, and we were transferred here to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city while we mourn. I hope we can get along. The red hair guy is Jay. Looks brunette. And the other seems to be Blaze. I step off a lot of their rhyming names. Blaze is staring elsewhere with bored eyes, as if he is uninterested in us. If you want to know anything about us, just ask. How old are you? We're both 20. What the fuck are you doing in freaking school? You got pulled back a little bit? We're both 20. What? You couldn't tell? No, what the fuck happened? Did I not see that? A few people asked them why they were bandaged. We have certain illnesses that don't allow us to expose our skin to sunlight. Then you should cover the whole thing, your whole face, and put some glasses on, sunglasses, square ones, like, hey, cool mommies. Should you really be coming to school then? Blaze instantly glares at the student who asked that question. I don't think that's any of your business. His sharp tone silences the room and everyone stares at him in shock. Once the awkwardness settles down, the brother returns to the seat. Jay seems friendly enough, but his brother seems awfully moody. I hope they can make friends. As my train of thought ends, I notice Blaze staring in my direction. I dropped my pencil from the surprise. I swiftly averted my eyes. For the rest of the day, I avoid looking at the boy's direction. For some reason, I get the feeling that Blaze is watching me. I breathe a sigh of relief when class finally ends. What is that guy's problem? Either way, I shouldn't let him imitate me. While I pack my belongings, I notice Blaze and Jace are standing in the hallway. I silently pray they do not pay any attention to me. Yes, they do. Hey there. I jinx myself. Curseless. I look around, wondering if Jace is trying to talk to someone else, but I'm the only one around. Yeah, I was talking to you. I greet the brothers with a weak smile. Hi, is there something I can help you with? I know this is a selfish request, but can you show us around the school when you have the time? I blink with a faint, innocent attempt to mask my hesitance. I'm screwed. Although I do not want to show them around, I do not want to give the new students a poor impression of our school either. Of course, besides I would love to get to know you better. Great. Do you have time right now? Between mismatched combinations of Jace Jextel's voice and forceful gaze, I do not feel like I can reject them. Yeah, I have the time, I guess. Perfect. Jace appears quite pleased, but Blaze is still wearing the same bored expression as before. He seems like the type who dislikes school. I guide the brothers around the building, showing them all the key areas, the classroom, library, nurse's office, cafeteria, and more. By the way, I apologize for my brother's behavior. He's always like that, so don't mind him. Shut up, Jace. That reminds me. Can I ask you why you kept staring at me in class, please? The man turns to me with raised eyebrow. Giving up, I wave my hand as if to say forget about it. Oh. So my brother has taken an interest in someone, has he? What do you mean? You know, he's actually... Shut up, both of you! Blaze alternates a death glare between his brother and me. I was joking mostly. He doesn't usually like people. But well, if he does take a liking to you, you should be careful around him. What's that supposed to mean? Blaze tugs his brother closely to him and grunts. Don't take him seriously. Why should I take you seriously? Blaze raises his chin and narrows his eyes, glaring at me. I can even hear him grinding his teeth beneath his bandages. I snort at his reaction, the stereotypical delinquent act. It's comical to me. We finished the tour. Jace politely thanked me, while predictably Blaze says nothing. Why don't we make more plans if we don't know anyone else yet? The fact Blaze has turned to me does not convince me that I am wanted. Don't mind him. I'm sure he'd love to be friends with you. When Jace goes to give his brother a playful kick, he surprisingly managed to dodge it, even though it came from his blind spot. By the way, do you even know my name? Sky, right? I see you checked the student register. Oh, well, I actually knew. You've talked too much. Let's go already. Blaze grabs Jace by the arms and pulls him along, giving me one last chilling glare before disappearing. Those two are definitely up to no good. Well, Jace is friendly enough, but it could be just an act. I shouldn't let my guard down. But you do. Since I do not have any homework today, I decided to spend my extra free time with JUNORU. Hey, did you go to school today? No. I am only going there. No, I am only going there later tonight. Oh, right, you told me you were taking night classes. Which reminds me, can I come with you? I realize going out so late is not safe. The teachers even had a few meetings to discuss the possibility of canceling night classes indefinitely. As I said before, however, the students attending night classes are a different caliber. Do you still want to go? I won't let myself be a deadweight. If we need a fight, I'll help out. Even so, the living deads are my responsibility, and allowing me to protect you is part of the deal. JUNORU gently takes my hand and smiles at me, the soft golden of his eyes boring straight into me. He knows I cannot argue with him when he ever reacts like this. We talk until my stomach begins to rumble. JUNORU insists for me dinner, so I stay for some kinjuru and take it cool me, and go home. While I eat, JUNORU shares some notes from his night classes. These subjects seem different and even more advanced than what I have seen in the day classes study. You may stand out without a light class uniform, but I do not think it will cause any problems. I guess I could try to find something formal at home. You look lovely. just like this, Miss Sky. If you truly do end up liking night classes, however, I'm sure you could have a new uniform made. No, you're gonna lose your friends. We talk a little longer, and I leave to prepare for night class. I feel like a child getting excited to go on their first trip to an amusement park, impatient to pass the time until Juno arrives. I can't wait to finally meet those mysterious elite class students. There are no lights in the school building, although the main doors are unlocked, with the shadow blanketing everything. This looks like an entirely new, different place. Are we just supposed to walk in here in the dark? Indeed, the director wanted to save on electricity bill, or so he says. Okay, if you say so. After you walk through the door, after you have walked through the door here 3 times, you get used to it. You have night vision? Is that your special ability? No, but that would be far more interesting. Rather, we have memorized the layout of the hallway. General offers his arm to help me through the darkness as he guides me through the classroom. Once inside, however, I quickly become self-conscious and slip my hand away from him. No one has bothered to turn on the light, so I fumbled through the darkness until my foot hits something and I fall into someone's lap. Catch! Yeah! Oh! I instantly jump up and realize the person fell on his blade. Sorry, it was an accident. Blaze glares at me before mumbling something inaudible. What are you doing here? I feel a pat on my shoulder, and then a girl with long black hair and crimson-colored eyes steps in front of me. Razumi! He joined our class tonight, so he's not used to the environment yet. His brother is a lot friendlier, though. Wait, Jason's here, too? Don't compare us. Blaze gives the girl an irritated glance, but she brushes him off. Anyway, are you also a transfer student? I didn't hear anything about a third. Oh, let me introduce myself first. Myself first. My name is Razumi. Nice to meet you. I can't remember her voice that I put. Maybe like, oh, hi. I'm Sky. I'm only here to see what it's like, so I'm not an official student or anything. Razumi and I chat until the teacher arrives. Luckily, there is an empty seat beside JUNORU. Rather, he sits alone in the corner far away from other students. I search the room for familiar faces, and the only person I know is Blaze. Why is he taking night classes too anyway? I lean towards JUNORU and whisper, hoping the teacher does not hear me. Do you know anything about the bandaged guy over there? JUNORU frowns and glances at Blaze, but lowers his head and averts his eyes again. With seconds, it feels like I had pried into a sensitive subject. That is Blaze. I wait for my friend to continue, but he remains silent. What's so special about him that he joined the night class? I do not know. I do not think it's worth asking him either. A peek at Blaze, who appears to be bored. One might think he is being forced to stay here, knowing it will only cause a scene if I try to speak with him. I decided against it. For the next hour, we learn about medical medicinal herbs, a subject I have never heard about in passing. I am glad the teacher does not pay any mind to my presence, and even though I am a new face, does not ask me for introduction. Whenever JUNORU knows me struggling to follow the lecture, he passes me his note and definitions to help me keep up. Before long, I decided to take a bathroom break and find myself in the dark hallway once more. Oh shit. I wonder if this is the only night class. I use the moonlight stream in through the window as my guide. Whenever I reach stairs, there is a pause. There's no window lining them, and I do not want to trip to my death. Suddenly I hear oh shit, no! Suddenly I hear something dragging a sack of potatoes from downstairs. I lean against the railing and strain my eyes curious. Oh no! I meet the sight of a bloody hand grabbing at each step as the body lurches forward. I feel like I've dropped something into the middle of a horror movie. I do not hesitate to turn back and dash towards the classroom. Please tell me it was just my imagination. Why does the school look so scary at night? Every time I believe I have located the class, the door only leads to an empty room without the lights on. The hallway all appears identical. I become desperate after the fifth wrong turn and end up at the stairs once more. I stop for a moment to catch my breath. You might notice I noticed that bloody hand which is firmly attached to a body clad in dirty white clothes. I stand at the top of the steps. On top of it all, the figure's snow white hair hides in their face. I begin running once more. Even though my lungs stag, I look back and I realize the ghost figure is chasing me. It's moving like a marionette. What the heck? Before I can scream for help, I bump into JUNORU. Here you are. What's wrong, Miss Sky? Oh, he's chasing me. By the time I turn around, I realized the figure had disappeared. JUNORU rests a hand on my shoulder, wearing a concerned expression. There was a person whose hand was covered with blood. They were pale like a ghost. I am with you now, so there's no need to be scared. My friend wraps his arms around me and pats my back. I'm so relieved he showed up. Sorry for worrying you. I was trying to find the bathroom, but I got lost. My apologies. I should have left you there. Of course, you're not used to walking in the darkness. Follow me. I will show you there now. JUNORU takes my hand. With him by my side, I no longer feel afraid. Here we are. I will wait outside, of course. I enter the washroom and rush into a stall, not even bothering to look for a light switch. By the time I'm finished washing my hands, the shuffling sound from before have returned, and it seems to be coming from nearby. Oh no, fuck! Red hand! I turn around to notice a bloody hand reaching over the top of one of the stalls. My legs freeze, and a blood-curdling scream slips out of my mouth. Within seconds, JUNORU had stormed into the washroom with a worried expression. Miss Sky, what happened? Are you alright? I slowly managed to point at the stall, but the mysterious hand has already disappeared. That person with the bloody hand was there. JUNORU firmly knocks on the door. Is anyone that really, although there's no reply, a dark liquid begins to stream out of the gap between the door and the floor. My friend cautiously pulls the stall open, but there's no one inside. I wasn't just imagining it. How odd. How odd. I've never heard anything like this happening here before. Could it be that those subjects? Junor bites the bottom of his lips, almost looking frightened before leading me back to the classroom. Are you okay, Jill? Well, there's no need to be concerned for me. Please don't tell me you get queasy when you look at blood. Or maybe you're scared of ghosts? No. Are you sure you looked a bit pale earlier? I am always pale in the sky. In any case, I hope you're feeling fine. It must have been quite a shock. That was nothing. The idea of ghosts does creep me out since you cannot do anything to make them go away, but I'm all good. On the contrary, if you help lay their unfinished business to rest, they will ascend. Speaking of which, I believe the rumor about a ghost residing within the school. He supposedly only appears at night at random, but he should be harmless. What we saw might have been very well him, although earnestly believe he was a tall tale created by the students to this point. Back at the classroom, it's time for a break. It looks like the sun's rising, almost time for a break. While the teachers left, all the students remain within the classroom, entertaining themselves by socializing, except JUNORU, who assigned me is sitting alone. It is a surprise, considering he's such a kind person. On the other side of the classroom, in another corner, Blaze also looks quite lonely. Although I want to check with General Olga, I need to chat with General. Assuming approaches him before I can speak. I glanced over at Blaze and decided to talk to him instead. Hi Blaze, mind if I sit here? Without so much of a glance, I simply ignored. I waved my hand in front of his face, until he seemed annoyed. What's your problem? Just wanted to talk to you. Is that so bad? Yes, get lost. With his cold, weird words pierced through my chest like icicles. No one has ever outright rejected me like this, and it hurts. Before I can reprimand, Blaze suddenly steps beside me with an enthusiastic smile on her face. Ace, you aren't supposed to make a girl cry. Besides, she's new here. You need to play nice. I wasn't crying, actually, but Blaze swiftly turns around on his seat, trying to ignore us, but Razumi takes it as a challenge. She grabs two nearby chairs, plops them down next to the man's desk before forcing me to occupy one. Now let's have a nice conversation. Blaze crosses his arm and glares at us. I am beginning to find myself concerned that we are overstepping his boundaries. Meanwhile, Razumi is beaming innocently. Ace is actually really nice. He's what you call a tsundere. Stop giving me nicknames. You barely know me, and I'm sure as hell not nice. See? What he really means is the opposite. Give me more funny nicknames and we're such good friends, please. You are gonna get beat up for sure. The man visibly deflates. I cannot help but to laugh at the spectacle. By the way, are you and your brothers going to the ball? Blaze scratches his head for a moment, but then nods. Well, the school is hosting a ball? I'm sure. My eyes are sparkling from excitement. I've never attended such a fancy sounding event. It seems like the night classes have more fun than the regular students. Anyone is welcome to come as long as they have a date. Ah, will you go with me then? Well, I already have someone in mind. Nice guy. Aw. Well, do you have any people you can ask? You do want to go, right? I shook my head. My cheek started to flush, trying to deflect the question on to Razumi and Blaze. I'm thinking about forcing Jace to wear a dress. His expression is so dirty and his words so out of character. I have mustered my willpower to keep from laughing hysterically. Oh wait, did he say that? I want to see that for real now. That would be priceless. So who's the person on your mind, Razumi? JUNORU. I'm happy for a second thought, then something tightens in my chest. Oh, that's great. Good for you. I was so lucky to be the first one to ask. Anyway, if neither you or Blaze have anyone to go with, why not partner up? My partner and I awkwardly turned to each other. The dark aurora surrounding him said it all. And maybe another girl would be a better fit for him. I'd rather go alone than with anyone here. Did you hear that? He said he would love to have the company. Don't twist my words, you demonic woman. Oh, I know that's your way of being affectionate, but can you please pick a cuter nickname for me? Lace sighs and rests his head on his arm. Although he does not seem like a person who would go to parties, it truly does sound like he wants to go to the ball. We are in the same depression boat. Blaze, noticing my gloomy expression, mumble at a volume I can barely hear. Whatever, tell me your address and I'll be there at 7. Make sure you're ready by then. The unexpected words cheered me up. I beamed at my date, but he only returns it with a glare. This is only for the sake of convenience. Don't overthink this. Once the break ends, we began a lesson on physics. Although it is interesting, I have a difficult time following along. Class finally ends just past 3 a.m. In the back of my mind, I am worried about whether or not I will be able to wake up on time for my regular school hours. I try to stay awake, but a yawn escapes me. As if reading my mind, JUNORU approaches me. I will inform the administration for you, so it would be alright for you if you wish to skip class this morning. Really? But I'm only a normal student. That is true, but I'm sure they will make an exception when I explain the situation. I let out a relieved sigh. Finally, JUNORU and I start walking home. What do you think about the elite class, Miss Sky? Did you have fun? It was way more fun than I expected. No, let's not go. Changing classes, no. Way more fun than I expected. The regular classes are nothing in comparison. I am pleased to hear that. If you ever wish to come again, I'd be happy to bring you. I definitely think about it. By the way, what are the requirements of officially joining night class? There are no requirements in particular. The purpose of class is simply to offer more comfortable environment to for those who might stick out otherwise, or who cannot make the time to go to school during the day. I, for example, would not feel comfortable during the day. Around the day class students, I'm sure they would notice my injuries. Oh, it may be overdue, but I apologize for not speaking to you during the last of the break. That's my line. You were the one sitting all by yourself, and I wandered off. Junoro uncomfortably scratches his scalp, slightly averting his gaze. I'm sure you noticed that people try to avoid me. I did. Why is that, though? You're so nice. I feel I should be honest about this with you, Miss Sky. The class believes I am the son of a mafia boss. They stay away from me because they fear they will be harassed or murdered. Huh, that's a good joke. Unfortunately, that's not a joke. For what it's worth, they're all kind to me, overly so. In fact, they're simply afraid for their lives. Then why don't you tell them that isn't true? Well, in a way, it is true. The living dead tends to follow me, so it is almost as if I have my own gang. As a result, people I spend non-negligible quantities of time around tend to attract them as well. Several of my classmates have become targets of those monsters as a result. I'm sorry to hear that. It must be lonely having to distance yourself from everyone like that. In the past, perhaps, but your presence has relieved that, Miss Sky. I must admit, I regret involving you into this mess, however. I don't think there's anyone that could make me want to stop being your friend. That is forthcoming for the future. Being at JUNORU, he remains speechless, but with a sparkle in his eye. We simply walk side by side for a while until JUNORU speaks up. The school is hosting the ball tomorrow at midnight, Miss Sky. Would you like... Of course, she just assumes. Miss Sky, would you be interested in going with me? You don't already have plans to go with someone else? I do not. I had not planned going at all, but I heard you talking about it earlier and changed my mind. So I think you will enjoy it. He sure doesn't seem like he's lying, but that means presuming he's never asked him. On the other hand, there might be some misunderstanding between them. I already said I'd go with Blaze, but I don't want to reject you either. We're gonna have to pick. We're gonna have to pick! Tell me the truth. I'm sorry, I already agreed to go with Blaze. I press my lips and do my best to avoid making eye contact with JUNORU. To my surprise, the man smiles gently. I'm glad you are honest. This may be blunt, but he cannot be trusted. He's not the one to keep his promises. Did something happen between you? He's not kind to anyone, not even his own brother. Quite frankly, I would be uneasy knowing you went out at night with someone so unreliable. Of course, the decision is yours to make. I am merely sharing my thought on this matter. I give a nod, deciding not to comment further. You should! But this is the first time I have heard JUNORU talk about someone so negatively, and it's jarring. I wonder what happened between Juice and Blaze. Whatever happened to and presume me. I apologize. I do not intend for things to come off so harshly or to make it sound like I was jealous. No, it's fine. You were only worried about me. That said, I would like to get to know Blaze better before coming to any judgment about the kind of person he is. But I do want to go to the ball with you, so I'll tell him I changed my mind. General gives me a slight gasp, peering at me with wide eyes. A moment later, his surprised gaze turned into a delighted smile. I will arrive at your house at 7. Please do not leave without me. You're getting trouble. I give a cheerily nod before two of us part separate ways. I only managed to wake up at 11. I was so tired that I even slept through my normal alarm. After devouring breakfast, I considered my plans for the rest of the day. Oh right, I don't have to dress for the ball yet. Actually, what is the dress code for it? I decided to spend a few more minutes reviewing my mother's closet before jumping straight into a new purchase. Luckily, I found a cute frilly dress with a nice shade of midnight blue. I cannot remember ever seeing my mom wear it. What is this overall simple style of clothing? I am surprised she even owns something like this. I try to dress on and look at the mirror. Surprisingly, it fits me well. Hopefully, this is fancy enough for a ball. I still need a suitable footwear and I need to do my hair. I spend the rest of the day searching for matching accessories and browsing fashion magazines. This is the first time I've been so excited for a party, so I want to look my best. It'd be so fun going to the ball with Juice and Blaze. You should have just kind of went back to school and said, hey, I'm sorry, went to school half the day or something. I said I go with both of them, didn't I? Oh my imagination runs wild with visions of what might happen if Blaze still comes over like he planned. I know JUNORU doesn't like Blaze, but I'm not sure about the opposite. If I had his phone number, I could call and cancel, but I pushed my word to the side and continued my preparations wrong. Should have went to the school, just did a little bit of your class and said, hey, I'm looking for a Blaze. Hey, I'm sorry, can't go. Once I am pleased with my presentation, I waited in front of my house giddy with both excitement and nervousness. This girl's dumb like I always say she is. A few minutes later, a small coach comes down the road with JUNORU sitting front and center, reins in hands. As if the show is not baffling enough, the coach is not being pulled by a horse, like one might assume, but 2 deer. I have no words. What in the world is going on? The driver steps off his vehicle and gives me a deep bow. May I offer the fair lady a ride to the ball? I reply with a grin, though how large it hurts my jaw. This is already so cheesy and his mind is only making it worse. Taking a closer look at the gorgeous elaborate suit that he's wearing, I feel as if I'm part of a fairy tale. This man surely my prince, here to whisper me away in his carriage. I apologize for this silly display, but I could not rent any horses on shortened notice. None at all, this unique and strangely fashionable. And anyway, I thought we were going to walk to the school, so this is a pleasant surprise. I am glad to see that, Miss Kai, but please allow me to help you up. He reaches out his hand for me just steadily as I climb into the front seat. I am halfway up by the time I hear footsteps approaches, a certain ring of loneliness to them. I feel my stomach drop, but I gathered the courage to turn my head. Then in the distance I see Blaze in a clean suit with a dark fancy coat over it. JUNORU soon follows my gaze. Yeah, the girl's stupid. May I ask, what are you doing here, Blaze? That is my question. The men stare at each other in deafening silence. Heat rising to my cheek as I spectate, even though I need to step in. Shut up. Done that a long time ago. Gone to school. Say, hey Blaze, I'm sorry I can't go with you. Well, why don't we go as a group of three since we're all here and... No! Blaze and JUNORU stumbled glanced at me, and I expected the worst. But for some reason, JUNORU agrees to the proposal almost instantly. Blaze initially refused, but we persuade him to join us in the coach by pointing out that he might find someone else without a partner at the school entrance. JUNORU goes back to the driver's seat while Blaze and I step inside the carriage. I try to diffuse the awkward atmosphere by starting a conversation. I'm glad you showed up after all, Blaze. Right. I'm so sorry I didn't mean things for things too. It's okay. He stares out the window, seeming unaffected by my excuse. I don't know how old JUNORU is. I probably forgot about it. But Blaze is like 20. You graduate high school around like 17 or 18? I cannot even begin to guess what's on his mind. Do you dislike me? If he did, I would not blame him. Why would I? Even before this, it seems like I always get in the way. Seem in the way. I apologize if I'm wrong, though. I just have a neutral view of you. Dislike is a strong word. I'm not obligated to like everyone by default. I understand his point, but it wouldn't hurt him to throw out a bit of kindness, even if it's fake. You're in the wrong. This guy is in the wrong. As soon as we arrive, Blaze jumps out of the carriage and heads straight towards the school building. JUNORU, on the other hand, treats me like a princess. He takes my hand and leads me to the entrance, where a few volunteers are taking attendance. It takes a bit of convincing, but the volunteer eventually allowed Blaze to come in with us as an exception. While JUNORU and I head to the makeshift ball, our bandage friend wordlessly goes off in a different direction. Even though I am a bit disappointed, I'm glad JUNORU at least is still by my side. You cannot be sad. You did not even try to contact him or try to locate him and tell him. So you let him on. The two of us enter a large room that is decorated with antique furniture from end to end, a soft lightning accentuating the scene. Some girls are wearing grand, elegant dresses with layers upon layers of frills and lace, while others are clad in long gowns and shimmering silk, even though the boys have made a point to dress in suit. The space is filled with far more people than I saw at night school. In fact, although the crowd is large enough to match the school's entire student body, I do not recognize a single face. Within seconds, a dozen of boys asked me to dance with them. As much as I wanted to stay by JUNORU's side, However, I know it'd be rude to decline their offer. And now you're playing with JUNORU's heart. I would hate to deprive such a stunning lady the opportunity to enjoy herself. Do not worry about me, Miss Sky. Dance with whoever you wish. The night is still young. My date's flattering words warm my chest as I get the feeling that they would not be so impactful if anyone had spoken to them or spoken them. I humored a few dance partners before I needed to take a break. Walking through the crowd of unfamiliar faces, I could not help to feel uneasy. Thankfully, I noticed Jay standing against the wall, watching others attendees enjoy themselves. He's wearing an outfit similar to Blaze, but with a lighter color scheme. I beamed and gave him a nice swift raise before heading over. I didn't expect you here. Are you having fun? Are you having fun? Yeah? What about you? Shouldn't you be dancing with your partner? Jace chuckles at my question before shaking his head. Nope. Nope. I actually snuck in here. Don't tell anyone, okay? Dancing isn't my cup of tea. I prefer to watch others do all the hard work. As I leaned beside him against the wall, he asked which my date is. Well, I came here with JUNORU, but I got sidetracked and lost sight of him. Anyway, why did you come to the party if you knew you wouldn't have fun at it? I never said I came here for my own enjoyment, did I? Why then? To watch others have fun. Right, that sounds very credible. Jace laughs and turns to me. You're more perceptive than you appeared, Sky. More like it was obvious. No one would enjoy standing alone in the corner all night while everyone else enjoyed themselves. You never know. So you came here with Juju, right? JUNORU, yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm so used to calling him Juju. We were good friends a long time ago. So, it's all in past. He's nothing like he used to be. What do you mean? Don't tell me you don't like him either? Either? You mean my brother? Well, Blaze doesn't like anyone. I pictured JUNORU's gentle, innocent smile in my head. I cannot imagine how anyone would ever dislike him. Although he is quiet and reserved at first, once you get to know him, he becomes warm and sweet. You used to be friends with Ju, huh? Can you tell me about your past? I give Chase a puppy-eyed look. He only pinches my cheek, doing his best to hold his laughter at the sight of my distorted face. Ow, I don't like this, Chase. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. You look funny in a cute way. Way to go, thank you. Anyway, let's go somewhere quieter, where no one would hear us. I wanted to point out that no one could hear us where we are, but the bandaged man walked ahead. We stopped at the small balcony that was oversees the entire school. I love the clouds. Jason sits on the railing and gestures for me to come closer. So, why do you want to hear about my past with Juju? Out of curiosity. His red eyes meet mine. For a second, I think they glow, but he bows his head, causing his bangs to cover them. I'm not sure if I should tell you any of this, but whatever. This brings back so many memories. Where should I start? Flashback time! Jay scratches his head. and peers at the starry sky before telling me his story. Blaze and I first met General at his mansion. Flashback time! I'm sure the ball bounced this way. Come on, bro! Two of the boys crawled their way through the brush and found themselves in an unfamiliar garden. I don't think we should be here. Right as Blaze tried to pull his brother closer, another child walked over with the ball they lost. Hey, are you looking for that? Little General smiled innocently as he handed over the toy. Well, are you the son of the richest people who live here? We're not rich. It's the big house. They stared at General in awe before taking the boy's hand between his own with an excited expression. Wanna come play with us? You idiot, we shouldn't. I'm not allowed to wander off. My parents would get worried. Not even a tiny bit. Well, okay, if it's only for a short while. The three children snuck off to a nearby playground. By the way, what's your name, rich kid? You can call me Junra. Or Ju, for short. I'm not rich, but Mommy and Daddy are. I'm Jace, and this is my brother Jace. Why did he look so angry? Did he dislike me? No, his face is always like that. I'm not angry, you bunhead. Blaze averts his gaze and crosses his arm. Bunhead? Ignore my stupid brother. Let's be friends, too. General hesitated for a minute, then smiled weakly. I have never played games with anyone my own age before. I would be glad to become friends with you. The boy bowed politely, but Jace took the opportunity to headbutt him. General rubbed his head, frowning with surprise. Don't be formal with your friends, okay? We're equal. Oh, you're sure strong, Jace. Jace pulled Blaze over to himself before forcing his brother to shake hands with General. Now you're both friends too. Whatever. Blaze slowly shook the boy's hand while half turned away. In the following days, the twins often went to play with General. They had fun, and their friendships grew stronger. Why do you two always wear bandages? Well, it looks ugly if we don't. All I want to see. I did not think you two are ugly. Blaze shook his head and waved his hand. Everyone has their secret. I'm sure you do. You do too, bunhead. But if I tell you my secret, it won't be a secret anymore, will it? Both twins nodded their heads. General still did not know why, but he decided to copy them. Their friendship remained unchanged despite both parties hiding things from one another. One day, Blaze visited the mansion without bringing his brother. Blaze couldn't come today because he has a fever. Oh, I hope he gets better soon. Shall we play together instead? Their usual games were less fun with only two of them. The boys leaned against the tree, tired from playing, when all of a sudden General's expression grew serious. Hey, Blaze, if there's a family everyone hates, does that mean they're bad people? Hmm, only if that family did bad things. If they had not, if they had not, does it mean the people who hate them are bad instead? They scratches his, like his mouth being like, huh? Scratches his head before finally shrugging. I don't know. Why? Oh, it was just a random question. Just a moment, Junoro invites his friends to his home. Blaze had never been to a mansion before, but he was so excited. Wow, this place looks awesome! I hope we can live in a place like this someday. Oh, since when did you, have you ever brought a classmate home to you? Oh, it's Roya. Unfamiliar boy steps out of the shower, examining the guest. Do not give me any real weird names, Roya. This is Blaze, and he's my friend, not a classmate. You aren't allowed to hang around those delinquents. Blaze began to raise his fist at Roya, but Junoro stopped him in time. Oh, and it's silent. Do you know who I am? Juju. Juju, you shouldn't be hanging around with someone like him. That doesn't matter. Everyone's equal. Watch your mouth, you. Stop! Let's play somewhere else, Blaze. The boy pulled his friend away by the sleeve. The two of them headed to the garden. I'm so sorry about my brother. He's going to be the next head of family, so he's a little spoiled. I'm sorry too. I don't like bossy people, but I shouldn't have tried to start a fight. The sadness shimmered in the child's eye as his head drooped. I think we're too different, Ju. What do you mean? I don't want to cause any more trouble for you. I don't think we should keep playing together. Junoro seemed like he was going to cry, though in response, Blaze ripped off a piece of his bandages and handed it to him. This is proof we'll always be friends, no matter what happens. With that, the boy ran off towards his home to tell his twin what happened. We won't stay together for long. Besides, it's our job to guard the gates of heaven and hell. We shouldn't be emotionally tied ourselves to others. I hate this job. He was our first friend. Oh, they died when they were really young. The two boys eventually grew into young men, although their bodies never aged past the point. 100 years passed and the twins never saw Junoro again. They assumed they had long since passed away. They carried out their job without fail until one strange night. Where's our target this time? And why do I have to come along? That whining and hurry up. They walked down the dark street. They heard noises coming from an alleyway. A moment later, a man slowly stumbled out, clearly injured, but a trail of blood followed behind him. When the twin approached him, they realized he looked familiar. The man was barely able to stand, peered at him through his golden eyes. The nostalgic instantly caused Blaze and Jace to recall memories from a distant time. Jace's lips, as if their own, called out Junoro and replied. The man surprisingly raised his eyebrow. Blaze and Jace. Oh wow! You look a lot young. Oh wow, you look a lot younger than I expected, Kendry. I could say the same for you. Jace began to land Junoro's shoulder, but Blaze pulled his brother back. Don't help him. He's our target. You're kidding, right? You're kidding, right? Well, we have seen him move with our own eyes. How can he be dead? What are you two talking about? Junoro grabbed his chest and coughed up blood. Even though he was in pain, Blaze showed not an ounce of pity. We only have to kill the living dead. You must mistake him for someone else. Don't you think it's weird he appears so young after a century has passed? So Mr. I still look young after 100 years. Why don't you tell us your secret? Again, I could ask you the same question in any case. In any case, if I tell you my secret, it will not be a secret. Now, will it? The words Junoro spoke were a direct quote of something he had said to the brothers many years ago. In response, Blaze finally grabbed the man by the collar and glared him down at him. No more joking around. We are not kids anymore. Up close, Blaze finally noticed the bandage around. Oh, sweetie, I was looking to see if he had that. Oh, that's so sweet. Bandages around Junoro's neck. They seem familiar. In fact, they look exactly like the one he had given the man 100 years ago. Well, don't be so rough on him. He's injured, you know. Blaze slowly released the other man at his brother's behest. Then, in the blink of an eye, Junoro took the opportunity to sprint away as best as he could. What the heck? He's running away? Actually, he's doing a pretty job at it. With what, those wounds? How pointless. The brothers chased after their target and caught up with him within seconds. Blaze grabbed Junoro's arm and threw him against the wall before wrapping a hand around his neck. Were you just pretending to be injured to fool us? I was not. Why did you run then? Is your target not supposed to flee? Blaze raised a fist aiming at Junoro, but hit the wall next to his face instead. The sound echoed through the empty street. Junoro did not even flinch. Don't answer me with questions. I find it rather ironic that you're ordering me around. I thought you hated that type of person. People change after 100 years. So did I. The dark-haired man smirked as he suddenly mustered the force to rip away from Blaze's grip. However, his attacker did not give in peacefully. In the commotion, he tore the bandages off Junoro's neck, revealing the stitches that hold his head in place. Do you still remember this? He held out a piece of bandages before Blaze, whose eyes widened as he snatched the scrap away. At that moment, Junoro swiftly took the chance to escape Blaze. Jace ran to his brother, who seemed dazed over what just happened. How did he do that? I can no longer feel his pain. I have no limitations on his body. I have no imitation of this body. The man's expression turned cold as he peered down at the brothers. He seemed like an entirely different person. He reached up to check that the stitches around his neck were undamaged before, as he correctly dislocated his joints. A normal person would scream from the pain, but Junoro, it seemed normal. Jace begins to charge at JUNORU, but Blaze grabs his brother's arm to stop him. I'm fine, Jace. Let me send this guy to hell personally. Blaze stood there and removed the bandages wrapped around his arm and his limbs, morphing into a black metallic claw-like weapon. He dashed towards his target, slashed downwards with his claw. JUNORU, who had completely unarmed, had no choice but to keep dodging the assault. Why do you want me to die so badly? You're already dead. I'm only here to send you where you belong. And you brought your brother along so he could watch us fight. One of us is enough to take him down. You're being too cocky to win. But then, as if his own words were a curse, he made a misstep. He dodged Blaze's bandaged vest, but momentarily he forgot about the claw, which pierced through his skin and left a deep blood gash. With JUNORU's guard broken, Blaze managed to pin him down to the ground. Any last words? The blue-haired man lowered his claw against his former friend's neck and glared at him. However, even on the cups of death, JUNORU managed to smile. I remember the time we spent together like it was yesterday. Those were some of the happiest moments in my life. I thought I'd finally found friends who would accept me. As Blaze peered through JUNORU's eye, the same memory flashed through his mind, and the time they all played hide and seek together, and even the first day they had met and played in JUNORU's garden. That is, until you killed my parents. Blaze suddenly paused and lowered his weapon. The scene became calm until the silent sense returned. He raised his claw once more. JUNORU reflectively lifted his arms around his neck like a shield, managed to block the brunt of the attack. The sharp claws looping up a single arm wall. Oh shit. Freed from Blaze's hold, JUNORU stood up and tried to reattach his limbs, although there's nothing he could do about his ragged clothes. Jay stood glued to the spot in confusion. He saw his former childhood friends approach his brother to speak with him, but he could not hear words. The blue-haired man was frozen in place, and JUNORU threw the twins a quick final glance before quietly leaving. Blaze, why did you let him go? Jace placed a hand over his brother's shoulder, but when he brushed it away, Blaze was acting weird. Blaze stood, and the man stood abruptly and walked past her head without glancing at him. Let's go. Jace's story had messed with my emotions, even though there were several parts I could not understand. Despite what may have happened to our relationship, I understood the three of them used to be friends. Well, that's all I can tell you. I'm having a hard time believing that you're all so old. Hey, my mind is still young, though I'm not sure I can say the same about my brother. Haha. Jace holds his arm behind his head before stretching. Despite his casual, friendly attitude, he seems more mysterious than usual. I don't know how much about Juju anymore. That was the last time we actually spoke. Why don't you try to reconnect? Because he hurt my brother, and I can't forgive him for that. You used to be friends though, didn't you? That's true, but Blaze isn't ready for anything like that. You haven't seen the pain in someone's eye. Sometimes on bad days it seems like he's about to break down. Anyway, I can understand why JUNORU hates us, so it's not like he's unjustified either. I pursed my lips. It was difficult to believe all three of them shared a heavy past. I tried to suppress my thought and focus on something else. By the way, didn't you say you look ugly with those bandages? Was that the illness? Was that illness you mentioned a lie? Haha, you're sharp one, but not quite. We're ugly because of the illness we have. May I see what's underneath your bandages? No. But I'm really curious now. I just want to grab a pair of scissors and snip away. Rude. Jason laughed amusingly before bowing towards me, his face resting close to mine. Oh, you naughty girl. Want to strip a man in public's place. Are you sure you won't regret it? Of course. I never call you ugly, Chase. For some reason I blushed at my own words, but I managed to make a confident expression. Dang! Chase slowly begins to unravel. She looks worried. She's like, ugh. Begins to unravel the bandages around his chin. I hold my breath as I wait to catch a glimpse of his face. I gasped in surprise to see the large cut which runs from the corner of his mouth to his cheeks. He's like the Joker. Although his wound has been stitched closed, the injury still appears fresh. Did it scare you? No, not at all. If anything, I kind of want to cry. It looks like it really hurts. Cry? Well, that's a first. Sadly, those, as well as other cuts on my body, are permanent. The man swiftly wraps his bandages back on before speaking. What? Your whole body is like that? What happened to you? Who would do such a thing? Being the guardians of Heaven's Gate isn't an awesome job, you know. People will try to use you, and in some class torture you. Jay's expression softens as he lets out a deep sigh. I pat his shoulder, trying to comfort him. That place is a guardian of Hell's Gate. Used to be. We abandoned our position not too long ago. We still have our abilities and everything, but we're only working for ourselves at the moment. I need a kit. Interesting. When you said you were a guardian, were you sending people to heaven? That's oversimplifying it, but you can say that. We were like lazy Shinigamis. Well, you must have great powers, huh? I can only send the dead, including the lost souls, to where they belong. But Blaze has always been called for more jobs than me. Humans are ruthless creatures, you know. You'd be appalled how often they wish others would go to hell. Even Anyway, the reason that we have these powers is because we inherit them from our parents. Jace casually shrugs and I stare at him and all. It seems like the night class is full of kind of people, including some that are not even humans. My brother doesn't really want to hurt anyone, but he can only send souls to damnation. He suffers enough as it is, so please be patient with him. I understand why he wants to distance himself from others, but I don't think it'll make him any happier. That's his way of protecting himself. Speaking of which, does he have any wounds like yours? Nope. If you want more, you have to ask him yourself. Darn it, Jade. It's hard to get his attention when he dislikes me already. Not everything in life's free, Sky. True. Put in some work and reap the rewards. Reddit chuckles before heading back to the ballroom. I follow after him but bump into someone partway. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you. I raise my chin to find myself gazing at Blaze. Speaking of the devil, I become flustered and worried that he will insult me, but he ignores me before approaching his twin, whispering something to him. Oh, really? Jay scratches his head before peering at me with a smile. We'll be stepping out now. Enjoy the ball, Sky. The brothers leave together. As suspicious as it is, I leave them be instead of deciding to search for JUNORU. Like before, he's nowhere to be found, and I seat myself on a nearby chair and sigh. Now that I think about it, I do not truly know anything about JUNORU's past. It's a mystery, even his childhood friends. We danced together before the night ended, but I don't know where he is, where he might have gone. I began to step out for a fresh breath of air, hoping JUNORU thought to do the same. However, while searching the balcony, I become lost. Oh no. The sound's giving me goosebumps all over my body. Even though I know what it is, I turn around. There's the ghost. I notice a small shadow in the distance. Oh no, they have even reached the school grounds. I totally forgot about these zombies while I was enjoying the ball. I should have let JUNORU know about this. I began running away. Luckily, the zombie was slow, so I had time. Before I reached the main hall, I find JUNORU. Miss Sky, are you okay? Yeah, but look over there. He stands next to me, his gaze fixed darkly on the body that is moving closer to us. I am glad I was able to arrive on time. What are we supposed to do with that? I believe it got lost. These zombies normally do not enter buildings. Please step back and let me. Blaze and Jace appear on the scene. Thank you for learning our target. Target? You guys were looking for that? Not specifically. We heard a few rumors about a scary person walking around the building, though we'd see it if it was true or not. While the brothers walk past us, Blaze glances at JUNORU for a second. Let us take care of it. Once the twins are out of sight, my friend lets his head droop. I am truly sorry I cannot do anything for this guy. If I were... That's not true. You came to my rescue at the nick of time. If you hadn't been there, I would have died of fright. JUNORU smiles faintly, but I can see the uneasiness in his eye. He mumbles something to himself. I should hurry up with the cure. What? It's nothing, but perhaps we should go home now. Alright, it's getting late. I nod and the two of us head back to the carriage. I sit by Junor in the front seat so it's easier for us to talk. Would you mind if we stopped at my home for a bit? Sure. Although I wanted to ask about what happened between Juno and Blaze, I do not want to accidentally ruin the mood. I am so sorry our evening did not quite turn out as expected. Weird things like that always seem to happen to me at the worst times. I had wanted to spend time with you, but you disappeared. Oh, sorry, I stepped out for some fresh air because I was getting warm in there. Come to think of it, I danced with a lot of guys tonight, but the one I really wanted to dance with was nowhere to be found. As we reach the mansion, we head to the backyard where our small lanterns are lit along the path, giving us barely enough light to see the ground. Before he says anything, I ask for a dance. I slowly place my hands on top of his, blushing all the way. I like that little earring, whatever it is. To be honest, I'm not much of a dancer. JUNORU places its index in front of my lips, silencing me before taking my free hand and resting on his shoulder. He patiently guides me through a waltz and another classic ballroom dance. I try to hide my nervousness with a smile. Our movements feel strangely natural as we step around the yard, with JUNORU leading the way. I feel so much confidence in my dancing. I'm so sorry we did not have the chance to dance together at the ball. I realize this does not make up for it, however. There's nothing to be sorry about. I'm just glad we can spend time together now. I am too. You look absolutely stunning in that dress, Miss Sky. And watching you move so elegantly is a sight to behold. My friend's words make it speechless. He knows how to pull at my heartstrings. While we dance together in the moonlight, fireflies move around us, making the scene even more magical and beautiful and romantic than the ballroom at the school. I just added that, sorry. When we gaze into each other's eyes, I instantly realized I like JUNORU as more as a friend. My heart beats rapidly, but I try to stay calm. Miss Sky. His face turns serious as we move a little slower. The sudden change makes me nervous. My mind is racing with worry. How should I say this? I believe we should spend less time together. I blink innocently, wondering where this was coming from. So much has happened over the past few days, and I only dragged you into my mess. In fact, I am sure those zombie-like limbs earlier went after you because of my scent. In other words, did you think I'd be safer that way? Indeed, Miss Sky, I like you. I do not wish for you to get hurt because of me. I'm sure my face is bright red. Are you feeling alright? You look feverish. He pressed his cool forehead against mine, causing my face to become even redder. I pushed my head against JUNORU's shoulder to hide my face, preventably embarrassed by the words I'm about to speak. Miss Sky, no matter what you tell me, I won't stay away from you. I'm already involved with this, and there's no way to undo it, so please let me help you. I don't want to keep standing on the sidelines. I want to learn more about you and hear about your past. They've known each other for a short time. I do not think Is anything worth telling? What are you talking about? You're the most interesting person I ever met you. I'll say this again. I want to stay by your side. I want to learn more about you and help you. I understand. Sky, this is the first time he's ever dropped formalities with me. My heart feels heavier when he says my name. The silence is deafening, but Junoru's arms wraps around me and I'm pulled into a strong embrace. With my face still against Junoru's jacket, I notice he smells exactly like this garden, a mix of scent of flowers and a light rainfall. I sense the conflicting emotion with his touch. There's sadness, confusion, and happiness. It is as if he cannot decide which is correct. I never understand why he feels this way. He does know why when I'm so close to spelling out, he tries to lock the same feelings away. We quietly stand for a few moments longer, neither of us speaking, until we finally part. It is getting late. I should bring you home. Alright, I have to get up for class in the morning, don't I? I'm not sure I'll be able to wake up on time though. Please do not worry, I will handle things with the administration for you. Alright, but it's still bad about skipping so many days. I can help you catch up on everything you have missed. And I thought you only went to class at night. Incidentally, I read every textbook available in the school as a result of having too much free time. Oh wow, you must be super smart too. Not as much as you would expect. I walked next to Junoru on the way home. Absent-mindedly, I gazed through the starry sky. No other night has felt so eventful like this. Have you ever encountered any other living dead? You mean ones like you? Not quite. As far as I know, aside from my brother, I am the only one who was created artificially. The rest of the rank by their stage of competition. Wait, there are ranks? Indeed. I call the lowest of the ranks soulless. They are literally quite moving bags of rotten meat and quite harmless. The rank above them are called brainless. They are more dangerous because they will attack people purely on instinct. The second rank are fakes. They are living dead who look and act like normal humans but can feed upon themselves. Can secretly feed upon them. They are most dangerous since you cannot predict their actions. General heaves at the heavy sigh. You must have encountered a lot of living dead to have gone to the trouble of classifying them. Roya wanted me to avoid these sorts. He was worried about the state of my body would worsen since I refused to heal it conveniently. That sounds like a good call on his part. So that leaves the first rank. What are they? Well, those would be the ones who do not decompose. They are otherwise the same as the fakes. Not quite. They are sometimes obtain a special ability. Are you classified as one too? I suppose so, yes. I don't know much about your abilities. He gives me a weak smile and nods. Yes, although they are unbelievably useless. That only makes me curious. I will tell you about them tomorrow, okay? Fine. After escorting me home, General slowly raises his hand and brushes my bangs away, planting a kiss on my forehead. I hope you enjoyed yourself tonight, Miss Sky. I freeze scoffing speechless at nothing in particular until he is out of sight. He kissed me. I touched the spot that he pressed his lips on, still feeling the coolness of his lips there. Kissing someone there Doesn't it mean you only like him as a friend? Ooh, friend zoned. Friend zoned. I need to calm down before I read too far into this. We need to save. In the morning, I end up accidentally skipping school when I slept through my alarm. I hope my absence doesn't worry EQIL or Yogi. After eating lunch, I head straight to JUNORU's place. I instantly noticed that the chains on the front door had been removed, presumably because they're no longer needed. I curiously knock on the door. A few seconds later, JUNORU opens it to greet me with a smile. Ah, you did not feel like using the secret passage today? Well, since you got rid of those chains, I thought you might prefer that I come this way. You're free to use whichever way you prefer. I follow JUNORU into the living room, where I noticed several photo albums had been opened and spread out across the coffee table. I randomly picked up one and pursued the photos. Wow, is that little you? You look adorable. The man appears flustered as he takes the album from my hands to check which photo I have seen. Oh, yeah. Yes, that's me. Your face is pretty red, you know. Are you hiding something from me? No, what is there to hide? I bet there's some super embarrassing pictures of you in there. The man suddenly takes a seat on the couch before sorting through a few loose photos scattered over the table. If you don't mind, I would like to see the rest. I take a seat and gaze at him with sparkling eyes. In reply, he turns away, trying to avoid my gaze. I tug at his sleeve, forcing him to look at me. I shrug once more. Please. It is embarrassing. If I had known you were going to visit so soon, I would have not brought these albums out. Don't worry, I like to learn more about you, and the embarrassing moments are as good as the other ones, so far as I'm concerned. Even though there's nothing interesting in there. Although I am disappointed, I realize I should not force JUNORU to do anything. Digging up memories can be painful, especially when they're about the deceased. Before I can apologize, JUNORU moves closer to me and begins to lift the cover of the album in his hand. I blink in confusion. On second thought, perhaps it would be nice to share my memories with you. It has been quite the burden keeping everything to myself. I mean, if you don't want to, then... He shakes his head slightly and smiles. These memories should not be locked away, especially not my time with Roya. You did meet him after all. Sky, shall we start over? I wish to share my story with you. I'm shocked to say it at least, but I managed to nod. Oh, it's going to be a little, memory flashback. Before JUNORU continued with his story, he serves me tea. You might like an appetizer with this. It would take a while. As you already know, Roya and I were born in the Pinterest family. I do try to keep it hidden, however, the names evoke certain reactions. You have to read about my family in your history books, as have most of the other villagers. It isn't to be expected. Which reminds me, if your whole family was supposed to have died forever ago, how are you here? It is complicated, but I was in a slumber for about a century. It has not been long since I have woken up. The village did not change as much as I expected. Where should I start? It feels like if everything only happened only yesterday. JUNORU flips open the album, begins his story from the first photograph, and here we go! Flashback! Where are you? You cutie. I ran to the hallway searching for my brother, even though I told him I gave up on our game of hide and seek. He had still not come out. A room of large door had caught my attention, so I walked inside and yelled for my brother. A small wooden box piqued my interest, rather the fact it was sealed behind a glass door. What could be inside? When I reached out to touch the glass, I hear my brother call out to me, "That's the family heirloom! Don't touch it!" "Oh, Raya, don't scare me like that. Why is it in a story true? It's called being hidden in plain sight, you know? Nobody told me about this. When you're older, I'll tell you all sorts of cool things." Raya grabbed my hand, squeezed it as he pulled me along. "Where are Mommy and Daddy? They worked late last night. They're resting." "Oh, they've been really busy lately." I felt disappointed as I recalled the time we had spent together as a family in the past. "I hope they can play with us again soon. You should go to sleep, little bro." "I did not want to." "Why are you always so difficult about this? No wonder Mom has a hard time with you and you never want to sleep. How about this? Since you couldn't find me in hide and seek, we'll play a tag for a little while. You'll be it, and we can only use the second floor. Easy, right?" "Okay." Oh, someone's gonna fall down the stairs. We romped through the halls until I started to become tired. In the end, I was never able to catch Roya. He did not pass up the opportunity to tease me about it either. He finally managed to get me tucked into bed, and I swiftly fell asleep. In the middle of the night, I woke up to a strange noise. It sounded as if someone was knocking on the window, but my room was on the third floor. I crawled out of bed and pushed the curtains aside, where I found a note stuck outside my window. I was frightened, but I retrieved and opened the letter. It was handwriting. The handwriting was messy, but the message was clear enough. "Mr. and Mrs. Kundry, you have 1 week to leave this village. If you do not, the death of you and your sons will be assured." My hand shook in fear as I stared at the paper. What's going on? Why would anyone threaten Mommy and Daddy? I assumed the letter had been accidentally sent to me instead of my parents, but I could not bring myself to give it to them. I feared it would only make the situation worse. Oh no, poor baby. In the morning, I ate breakfast with my family in the dining room, as I always did. As the atmosphere was quieter than usual, I could not bring myself to meet my parents' eyes. "Oh, the mama! Mommy, are these people who hate us?" "Yes, but there are always people like that, dear." Why the sudden question? It's nothing. Did something happen at school? Oh, look! Do not pay any attention to the bullies, son. Even if you live your life without making a single mistake, someone will find a reason to dislike you. Moreover, thus important that you will always be kind to those close to you. Your friends will help you get through life. Although I did not understand what my father said, his words felt reassuring. Mother reached out to carelessly caress my cheek, giving me a soft smile. If there's anything bothering you, General, we are here to listen to you. Daddy, when are you going to take a holiday? Yeah, it's been ages since we went on a trip. We went to see that circus last month, didn't we, children? What about that hike through the forest? But that was last month. I want to go something now. In due time, my son. Your mother and I are busy with important research, and the two of you need to focus on your schoolwork. We will take a trip over the next holiday, okay? Okay, Daddy. Rue was still moody and unsatisfied, as he always was, when things did not go his way, where he wanted them to. Mother patted him on the head and poured him another cup of tea. Daddy, promise we will go on another trip. Don't be such a baby. Who's the baby, you fucking potato? Daddy. Roya, be nice to Junoro. He's your only sibling. Can't you give me another sibling? Instead, less annoying one? Mother and father stared at each other for a long moment. Finally, father blushed and took a sip of tea, leaving mother to respond. You can't predict how a new brother will act. Besides, I think I'd rather give you a little sister to take care of. You cannot predict how your new brother will act. Besides, I think I'd rather give you a little sister that you can take care of. I don't want to take care of anyone else. Can't you give us an older brother? Nope, sorry. Fate has already decided you're the oldest. And, well, that doesn't mean you can't take care of you instead, right? I peeked at Roya with an innocent expression, but he stuck his tongue out and turned away from me. Until you two make up, neither of you will get dessert. Why me too, Mommy? No arguments, one-sided, sweetheart. You should be supportive of your brother, okay? I am not sure that's a fair punishment. You know how JUNORU loves desserts, my love. That is true. How about this? No desserts for JUNORU and no toys for Roya. What? I just bought this new ball, which is a good reason for you to make up soon. I poked around my plate and sighed. Upon noticing my gloomy face, father discreetly shared a piece of chocolate bread with me, winking before returning to his meal. He rarely disagreed with mother, but I knew he only wanted the best for us. Later that night, I heard my parents conversing in the dining room. I hid near the bottom of the stairs and tried to listen in. Dear, have you been getting enough rest? I cannot fool you, can I? There's no need to rush. Lately, I've been thinking we should focus more on our health and the family. The research can come in second. I'm hardly satisfied with the life we built. I am concerned about the research will fall into the wrong hands. Our original. In fact, if this was 100 years ago, in like the freaking 1700s or 1800s, why are you dressed like that, ma'am? Are you a time traveler? Instead, we created something that grants immortality. Oh wait, our original goal was to create a potion capable of curing any illnesses. Instead, we created something that grants immortality. Now we are finally back on track, and we are so close to finding the formula. Shh, I know. We worked together, remember? I apologize, honey, but I've been so focused on my work lately. I can tell. Why don't we spend some quality time together, like we used to? It would be my pleasure, Miss Hannah. Oh, you don't start calling me that again. Can you stop me? Oh, doesn't? Save that for later. Father chuckled when Mom mumbled something too quietly for me to hear. Can you check on the children? I'm especially worried for about JUNORU. That child does not like to sleep. Of course, I will take care of the boys. You can go to the bedroom. I will join you later. I dashed back to my room and buried my face underneath the blankets, hoping Father would not notice I was awake. When the door opened, my heartbeat quickened and I nervously clamped my eyes shut. A hand slowly pulled the blankets down. Juju, I know you're not asleep. Yeah, what I heard it? Okay, I think they had boats in the 1800s. Oh no. I opened my eyes to see Father sitting on the edge of my bed. I heard you run up the stairs. Did you eavesdrop on my conversation with your mother? Yes. He smiled gently and stroked my hair. I do not wish to keep any secrets from you, but you are too young to understand our circumstances. Someday I will tell you more about our research. Daddy, I will help you, so please do not overwork yourself. If that is what you want to do when you're older, I would quite be happy. Now tell me, why are you still awake? I'm worried about the letter I received, but I cannot fall asleep. Should I tell Daddy about this? My hands clutched around the blankets. Suddenly Father disturbed my thoughts with a question. Do you want to hear a story? It's called A Single Dark Light. What is it about? A guardian who watches over the very village. They reside in a temple deep in the forest. The guardian keeps all the evil spirits that might haunt our dreams. If you're lucky, you may even see this entity in your dreams as it works to keep the nightmares away. What does it look like? You will have to find out when you meet them. I will go to sleep right away then. That's my boy. Father smiled and gently caressed my cheek before planting a kiss on my forehead. Oh, they were young kids too. I mean, you can't help them. They got the parents were killed because of them, but you can't really blame them. As he left, I pulled my blankets. It was not long before I fell into a deep slumber. The next 2 weeks has passed peacefully until I found another letter at the front door. There was no addressed letter, but country was neatly written on the center of the envelope. Curious, I opened and took out the old piece of paper, instantly recognized the handwriting as matching as the contents of the letter from last time. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Kendry, if you care about your children's safety, you will leave this village by midnight. This is your final warning. I hurried to Roy's room and patiently banged on the door, hoping he would know what to do. Yeah, coming. My brother greeted me with a sleepy expression and a bad case of bad head. Look what I found! I pushed the note into his hand, waited for he finished reading it. So, what's the big deal? He shrugged as if receiving death threats was a normal thing. You not understand? Someone's blackmailing our parents. So what? Those jealous fools do this all the time. There's no point of worrying about it. Besides, who can break into a mansion that has dozens of guards patrolling the grounds day and night? You're overreacting. You knew about this the entire time? Roy tore the note into pieces and patted my head, smiling softly. Before you were born, someone tried to kidnap me at kindergarten. It's why we don't go to public school. Why are people doing this to us? Someone will always hate you when you're well known. But there's also the fact that we will have something nobody else does. We have a potion that makes you immortal, and everyone wants to steal it from us. I gave Royal a confused stare and shook my head in disbelief. You'll understand when you're older, but now ignore those files. I sighed as my head drooped. Suddenly I wanted to escape from my worries, so I snuck outside to find my new playmate, Jason Blaze. Okay, that night I could not fall asleep. I just had lost my first and only friend. They had told me that our statuses were too different. Who cares about status as long as you get along with one another? Or did they start to hate my family too? I do not understand. Blaze, did you not say status didn't matter? I wish I could speak to Chase. He could not have agreed to this. I rubbed my face and stopped sulking. Things had simply returned to the status quo. My family's overprotective. This had always kept me isolated. The note of something shattering resounded from the hallway. I jumped out of bed trying to figure out what was going on when my mother rushed into the room with her face half covered by a scarf. She quickly shut the door and dashed over to me, embracing me with a sigh of relief. Mommy, what's going on? I'm so glad you're okay, Joe. Where's Daddy and Roya? Roya, Steve. Your father will follow us later. She pulled a familiar bottle out of her pocket and opened it. General, if something bad happens, do not look for your father or me, okay? I was confused, but nothing less. Mother forced the bottle into my hand and wrapped my fingers around it. Please keep this safe. Don't let anybody have this. Jill, I love you. She hugged me one last time before her cheeks damped from the tears before helping me hide under the bed. This is sad. No matter what you see or hear, do not come out. Don't make a sound. Oh shit, damn, ew! cold piss. Barely a moment later, a door slammed open. I caught one glance of the boy. One of the boys with bandages covering his mouth, and numerous of adults with their face covered. I don't have it. Chasing me is a waste of your time. On the contrary, taking your life is equal value to us. I'm not afraid of you. One person charged at her. She grabbed the opponent's arm. As they were confused, she threw him against the wall. The enemy was surprised, but did not lose their focus. The leader of the men motioned towards Mother. In a few short moments, they had her restrained against the floor. She continued struggling, but there was no way out of the three armed men. Ooh, he's gonna see the last moment that he sees her face, and she's just dead staring at him. That's the worst trope in the status. Jace, who had been lurking behind the adult, suddenly removed the bandages from his right arm and charged towards my mother. As his guards down, the masked people pinned her to the ground and creating the barricade that I could not even see light through. Stab her once more. What are you forcing our child to do? I'm sorry. This will be over quick. JUNORU, Roya, I loved you. The room was silent for a good minute until the adults stood up. Although they promptly left the room, Jace stayed behind. I could barely prevent myself from gasping when I saw the pool of blood my mother was laying within. Suddenly, Jace glanced at my direction, walked closer to the bed. Hey, I know you're there. I let out a scream and crawled out from underneath my bed, under the bed, and running towards my mother's body, trying to wake her up. I took my mother's cold hand in mine, causing my vision to blur as the tears welled up in my eyes. She's no longer with us. There's no point of doing that. I made sure she was peacefully passed on to heaven. You know, I'm not doing this because I want to. Hey, I need that bottle you're holding. Give it here. When Jace reached out towards me, I crawled backwards. What do you need it for? Are you going to give it to those people? Well, I uncorked the bottle and pressed the rims against my lip, tilting it upward. The sweet liquid began to fill my mouth. You idiot! Do you know what you're doing? I promised Mommy I would not let you people get it. I ran into the hallway. I smelled something strange. After a few breaths, I became dizzy and swiftly realized some sort of gas had been released into the house. I covered my mouth with my sleeve before continuing through what seemingly empty second floor. Where's everyone? There should be guards patrolling at night too. Daddy, where are you? I grew more desperate to each step, feeling a sickening relief when I finally heard the scream from one of the nearby rooms. That voice, could it be Daddy? You little shits. Using the door as a cover, I peeked inside of the messy room. There was a number of masked people in place. In the center of the room was my father, who was pinned to the ground. He appeared worn down, and there was no way he could escape. Use your power. Finish him off. Send this man to hell already. Lord, no, he deserves it. You don't want me to get rough with you, do you? My brother should be here soon. He can. Hurry up! Blaze flinched, but then slowly walked towards the father. I never thought you would bring children into this. I cannot believe someone like you was ever on our team. I know what you were planning to do with that serum. You won't convince me to back down. I told you it was a misunderstanding. I was so close to creating a cure. You only want to mass-produce immortality serum and sell it for profit. How else could you maintain this glamorous lifestyle? I watched as Blaze stabbed my father. He only lay there unmoving without making a single sound. Before I could react, the adults turned around and glanced at my direction. I immediately ran away in a panic. Why is this happening? It cannot be real. It must be a nightmare. My footsteps echoed through the silent hallways. I did not know where I was going or what to do next. All of a sudden, I was knocked down onto the ground. As my knee hit the ground, I felt a sharp pain in my back. It hurts. I cannot get up. My limbs gave up, and I collapsed on the floor. I did not have the strength to crawl. Even my eyelids became heavy to lift. When the feelings of my limbs returned, I slowly opened my eyes. I did not know how much time had passed. Huh? You're still alive? I was sure of that. Never mind. I turned my head to notice a mysterious girl sitting beside me. I turned to give her a gruff voice. She wore a large scarf covering her neck and a part of her face, a few strands of pink hair sticking out from the fabric. Even though I had never seen her before, a familiar aura surrounded her. I opened my mouth to speak, but my throat was still dry. No sound came out. This is strange. How do you feel? I looked around and realized I was laying in a bed. I did not know where I was. Through the foggy pain in my head, I managed to recall a few moments, key memories. There was some sort of gas in my parents' day. I still do not know where Roya is. My eyes instantly became wet. Soon the tears began streaming down my face. Although I tried to bravely wipe them away, they continued flowing. The girl bent down and patted me on the head. Don't cry, okay? Everything will be all right. She handed me a bottle of water and gave me a moment to recover. May I know where I am? You're at my place. Feel free to stay as long as you want. Miss, do you know where my brother is? I don't. I'm sorry. Why did I only get away safely? I did search for your brother as well, but I couldn't find him. There was a chance he's still alive. I was so disappointed, but also relieved Roya might have still gotten away somehow. You are General Kindred, right? Yes, how did you know? I heard a lot from you from your mother. I didn't expect you to look so much like your father. I pressed my lips together at remembrance of my parents. The girl gently patted my head before speaking in a calmer tone. Well, General, I need to give you a checkup. Your body was in a strange state a minute ago. Oh, there's no need. I do feel lightheaded, but that is all. She sighed and crossed her arm. Took a minute before I finally gave in. After I gave her my arm, she checked my pulse. I knew something was odd. What? Shh, be quiet. I sat frozen on the spot, utterly confused about the situation. Just as I thought. No pulse. She pulled back with a strange expression before turning to me. Did your parents give you something strange to drink or eat? Mommy gave me a bottle of something strange, and I drank it. Girl rubbed her face, sighed loudly. This is bad. Yeah. The serum she gave you grants immortality, or longevity, I guess, but when I found you, I thought you were dead. It's only my theory, but right now I believe you're frozen in a state of life or death. Does that mean I cannot die? It's difficult to explain to a child. Tell me, please. Well, I've been working with your parents since the beginning, but even I don't really understand how serum works. As far as I know, you can only die from either being beheaded or having your entire body burned. Once you reach adulthood, your body will most likely stop aging. Like, you will grow to the point at where your DNA would normally begin to break down, then stop. A man with an incurable illness volunteered to do a trial for the serum, but he was murdered before we could finish the research, unfortunately. If I had to compare it to anything, it would be like a zombie state, but without decomposition. You see, we actually developed the serum directly from a zombie sample. The chemical composition that spreads into their blood can kill any living creature it comes into contact with. We want to reverse it, turn it into something that can cure any illness. Have I turned it into a monster? No, sweetheart. Don't worry. I'll find a way to help you and do this. The girl smiled as she let go of my arm. I felt uncomfortable, but it was difficult to wrap my head around much information. I worked so hard to develop this serum with your parents for the past few years. I just don't understand how things went so wrong. Your parents are good people. They started their research to find new ways to cure sicknesses and make people healthier. When the word they accidentally created an immortality potion leaked, even the other members of the research team became greedy and wanted to steal it. That explains why our home was attacked, but not how Blake and I, that explains why our house was attacked, not how Blaze and Chase got involved in this. By the way, I'm Yoshikishi, but you can call me Yoki. I'll keep you from now on. Oh, no, she has a gruff voice, even though she looks pretty. Yoshiki pulled her hoodie back to release her long pink hair. It was so beautiful that it almost looked like a wig. Her gray hair peered into mine as she smiled. I froze when I suddenly recalled where I've seen her before. She was one of my friends my mother occasionally shared a cup of tea with. I am pretty sure Mommy said Yoki was someone we could trust. Eventually, we realized your corpse was missing. People started hunting you down. Eventually, when they realize your corpse is missing, people will start hunting you down. You can stay here as long as you need. In the meantime, I will try to locate your brother. Thank you, Loki. In the following days, I was not allowed to take a single step outside. Yoshiki's home was not fanciful as I was used to, but at least there was a roof over my head. JUNORU, I have food for you. It's gonna be like, She walked into the room, carrying a grocery bag of snacks and other delicious food. Wow, I have always wanted to try these, but Mommy and Daddy said no. I'm sorry, you probably aren't used to simple lifestyle, but I'm trying my best to make you comfortable. I grabbed a pre-packaged melon bread from the top of the bag and eagerly dug in. After a few bites, however, I felt strange. What's wrong? Did it not suit your case? No, it's really delicious. A bit into it again, trying to force it down my throat. Suddenly I had an urge to throw up. It tastes good. Why do I need to? Yoshiki went through all this trouble to get this for me. I should pretend that I'm fine. Here, have some water. I took the bottle and drank the contents. Within seconds, I felt a lot better, although I was still hungry. What's your favorite dish? I might be able to buy it for you. I do not really have one. Anything was fine. I tried the other food Yoshiki bought, but I could not get eating them down my throat. It was as if my body was rejecting them. I was overcome with hopelessness when I bit a delicious meat bun and it would not go down properly. I could not pretend to be fine any longer. I'm guessing your body presently is undergoing a transformation from human to living dead. You must need to eat something else. Sorry, I didn't know the fact before. What should I eat instead? I'm not sure. Living deads usually eat human meat and blood, so you might want to try those. Damn. Ew, no way. I was disgusted by the very idea of innocently shaking my head. I will live on water alone. Maybe say so. Just tell me if you ever change your mind. Why are you helping me so much anyway? Because I feel responsible for those deaths of your parents. I should have known better, but I didn't think the villagers were serious. I arrived too late to save them. I see helping you is my way of atoning my mistakes. If that's the case, I really should have told Mommy and Daddy when I found those threatening notes. It's all my fault. No, they received many of those before. It wouldn't have made a difference. Maybe I should have died back there. JUNORU, don't say things like that. Your life is a gift. Don't throw it away. Your parents would have wanted you to live on happily. And I'll make sure that happens. Yoshiki took my hand into hers and stared firmly into my eyes. Somehow my doubts were instantly washed away. I spent my time in the empty room for the next week. Yoshiki had a job to go to, so she could not watch over me the whole time. I had been away from home for a while. I was just curious what happened after I left. Oh no, baby, don't do that. I missed Roy a lot and I could not help but to wonder if he was safe. I fell asleep imagining the possibility. When I opened my eyes once more, the room was dark, save for the moonlight that was shone through the window onto the bed. Yoshiki was not back yet. I was really thirsty. Instead of waiting for her, I decided to get a cup myself. Fumbling through the darkness was not the best idea, but I could not find the light switch. This is so annoying. If turning into a zombie gave me superpowers like night vision, maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Finally, I tripped over something and fell flat on my face. Although it did not hurt, it was still unpleasant. Ow, I wish I had a candle. JUNORU. Yoki, is that you? JUNORU. I quickly raised my fist to defend myself when I heard someone call my name. Who are you? I finally found you. Yeah. Oh wait, never mind. Oh no, it's the mom's dead! A frightened face appeared right in front of me. I fell onto the ground in shock, but tried to crawl away from the figure. Wait. No way! When I turned back, I realized the person was coming towards me. I was so scared. Tears began to well up in my eyes. Help me, Yoki. I felt so weak after losing my family. Everything I knew, I ran around blindly until I came to a dead end. You can't escape now. Scary-looking person walked closely. When she stepped into the moonlight, I noticed her dirty, damaged clothes and her hair messy that resembled of a bird's nest. A few loose strands shielding her face. It's the mom! Things Yuki said before flashed in my mind, and I realized this person must be a zombie. How did you find me, and what do you want? You must help me. The woman crept forward with marionette-like movements. I averted my eyes. Don't come any closer. I cannot help you. I need the potion. You must have it. I do not understand what you mean. Leave me alone. Help me. I want to live again. Yeah, I can smell it on you. Had I not realized she was so close, she grabbed my arms and sunk her teeth into my flesh. The zombie smirked down with me, her lipless mouth. Despite my fear, I raised a fist and knocked her away from me. Her head rocked back and forth as if attached to an invisible wire. I blinked in surprise. Is this woman weak or am I strong? I was attacked again, but I dislodged the sloppy movement and kicked the zombie's leg, causing her to fall. I need to eat more. My fear faded as adrenaline started to flow through me. I need to live again. If you keep bothering me, I'll ensure you never live again. Well, I should go look elsewhere then. There's another. With that, the woman stood up and walked away. I remained on guard until the sound of footsteps disappeared. I leaned against the wall as I stared deep into the red mark on my arms. It did not hurt, but it was itchy. Eating me will only bring zombies back to life, huh? If that's true, that I drank the potion, but that does not sound possible. There you are, JUNORU. Yuki ran towards me with a worried expression. Why aren't you in your room? I thought something happened to you. I saw the door was left wide open. I'm fine. You were late. I was tired of waiting for you, and I needed something to drink. I patted as I hid my wound behind my back. Yoshi glanced around suspiciously, and I was worried that she had seen through me, but she never asked the question. I was sure she noticed something strange, but didn't go into the topic to prevent worrying me. Oh, I'm sorry. Someone made a mistake at work. It took me hours to make up for it. I promise I did not forget about you. She took out a water bottle and a small paper bag, handing them to me. I curiously peeked into the bag, backing away after I saw its contents. What is this? I smuggled blood donation out of the hospital in case you got hungry. I do not need it. You don't need to hold back. Whatever you do or become, I will always support you. No, I don't need your pity. You are only doing this out of guilt in the first place. I pressed my lips together while fist anxiously shook. I instantly regretted my words. Instead of apologizing, I ran away. Wait, you! I locked myself into my room and suppressed my tears. It seemed like I had become such a crybaby lately. I appreciate Yuki's kindness, but I don't want to accept it. As the time passed, I became more tired of ignoring my hunger and fell into a dreamless slumber. In the morning, I found myself sleeping on the floor. I could not bring myself to care. Yoshiki was working at the hospital again, so I thought she would not notice if I snuck out for a few hours to enjoy the weekend. I slowly opened the door and peeked into the hallway, only to notice there was a small note left for me. Dear JUNORU, there's some food for you in a white bag. I apologize for upsetting you. Please don't be mad at me, Yoshiki. There was a pain guilt in my chest. I still wanted to go out. Should I disguise myself? I searched through the closet and found a black jacket. It was too big for me, but only other option was a skirt, and I was not in the mood for a cross-dress. I stepped into the sidewalk and tried to figure out which direction my home was in, but I soon noticed the flyers posted everywhere. Sons of the Kendrick family are missing. If you know where they are, send a letter to. The reward for bringing them is Tell Minion. I speechlessly stared at the paper, at the bottom of which Roya and my photos were included. Our parents are already dead. Why do they stand to gain from taking our lives as well? Feeling on the edge, I walked further. Before long, I located the mansion. The exterior was the same as always, only a bit different than it was now abandoned. I entered through the unlocked front door, the sound of my footsteps echoing through the main room. Most of the furniture was gone. It had probably been stolen after the attack. I went upstairs hoping to find my parents' bodies. Unfortunately, the rooms were now empty. Even the bloodstains had been cleaned, not a shred of evidence left behind. A few beds, coats were left behind, but even my personal belongings had been stolen. I closed my eyes and tried to hold my sad thoughts back. Those people took away my parents and my peaceful life. Those memories of blazing just that fateful day flashed through my mind. I still could not believe what they had done to me. Eventually, it led to another memory. I recalled the bottle Royal showed me in the storage room weeks earlier. I searched for it, hoping it was still there. Nope. There was piles of books and damaged furniture everywhere. They had practically been turned upside down. The cabinet, of course, was broken, and there was nothing. However, a small wooden box that was buried under a pile of books caught my eyes. I carefully retrieved it before checking it from each angle. I ran a finger over the storage imprint on the back of the box, removing the dust. Then suddenly a lid popped up, and this is a potion. While I examined my discovery, footsteps began to echo through the hallway. I swiftly placed it back in its place and hid myself behind the window curtains. Where's that potion? I know there were extra doses made. Tell me. I quietly peeked around the small hole of the fabric to see an unfamiliar man pulling a young boy into the room with him. Oh my, that's Roya! Spit it out, boy. You must know where it is. I don't know anything. Don't play dumb. Your parents wouldn't have hid it from you. I told you I don't know. Even if I knew, I'd never tell you anyway. The man first slammed a knee into Roya's stomach, throwing him against the wall like a rag doll. Tell me what it is if you value your life. You won't kill me. Are you sure about that? There's still your young brother. I can find him and make him spill everything. I jumped out of my hiding spot, my body moving on its own accord, and punched the stranger. Get away from my brother! Ha! What's this? The man simply moved away and grabbed me by the collar, lifting me into the air. I struggled, but it did nothing. I'll let me go. You must be General Country, right? I can't believe my luck. Winning 2 prizes on the same day. Ginger, what are you doing here? Stop staring and run away already. Oh man, you shouldn't involve my brother in this. Ray grabbed the knife with his bare hands and pulled it from the man's grip. He jumped and kicked the man's face to free me. In reflex, the man covered his face, thumping back. I could see blood dripping from his nose. Let's see, how should I punish you for hurting Juju? I cowered behind my brother, both amazed and afraid of his strength. I'm not gonna hold back anymore, you little brats. The man stepped towards us with his arms outstretched, but while I held my breath, Roy Kirsten dashed forward. It took a moment for the stranger to realize that my brother had stabbed him in the stomach so dozens of times it took him to smirk. Go to hell! The man collapsed onto the ground as Roya pulled the bloody knife out. Is he dead? Yep, there's no doubt about it. Since when were you so strong? Why didn't you escape if you knew you could handle it? It's a long story. Before we dispose of the body, let me have a snack. Royal pulled up the sleeve of the corpse and bowed down. Ew, what are you doing? I'm going to eat, silly head. What? You're not telling me you turned into a zombie as well? You too, huh? Yes, but why? Welcome to mortality, little bro. He turned away while Royal gorged himself. After a few moments, he pulled away and wiped the blood off his lip. Anyway, let's bury the body before anyone catches us. I'll explain everything to you afterwards. He effortlessly pulled the corpse along by the arms. It seemed like my brother had turned into an entirely different person. We brought the body to the backyard where we dug a shallow grave. Once it was covered, we spread some grass and weeds on top to hide the disturbance in the ground. Roy turned to me with a mischievous smile. Let's sit and talk. It feels like it's been forever. Where have you been this whole time? I was worried sick, you know. Hey, that was supposed to be my line. One of Mommy's friends, Yoshiki, had saved me and took me in. Well, you're a lucky kid. I was saved by one of the servants, and then she got scared and ran off alone. You know, people are hunting us, right? Anyone who helps us is putting themselves in danger. Surviving on your own is tough, but it's kind of fun. You said you'd become immortal before, did you not? Oh yeah, it was an accident. Daddy gave me 2 bottles and I drank both of them. What? You drank 2? I only drank 1. What's wrong with that? I have a bad feeling about this. I cannot pinpoint why. Roy pinched my cheek and whined in annoyance, but felt no actual pain. I knew bodies are so fun. Being dead is way much better than being alive. Even when I'm all sliced up, I can keep laughing. That does not sound very fun. You'll understand eventually. Oh, by the way, have you seen those posters with our faces on them? Yeah, what about it? Those peasants are still looking for us. They're asking everyone for help. This is a perfect opportunity to unmask those traitors. I've been using myself as bait to let them out. Then, whenever I get the chance, I kill them. That's actually your plan? I'm avenging our parents. I'm not going to let those fools get away. Why not go to the place instead? With that huge bounty over our head, it'll make us look like the bad guys. Besides, I can handle this alone. I stared at the ground, the weight of the people who hated us only now falling apart onto my shoulders. Raya, you should come live with me. There's no secrets in you. Sounds good to me. This place is giving me the chills anyway. I hugged my brother in relief, overjoyed that we were finally united. For a moment, I was able to put my dark thoughts and worries behind me. I should say it's been a while. We're going to leave it there. Thank you guys for watching. And join my Discord. D-S-C-O-R-D exclamation point. Awesome. Join the Discord. Thank you guys for watching. Come join the Discord to know when I'm live. You get exclusive stuff like random pictures of my food, maybe art that I haven't showed or posted, and all that. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. I am going to go.